Посмотрим. Тоже
Hello,
интересно.
I'm Daur Hunsky. I'm Chief Creative Officer at Crow Team, and I will tell you a story how creating a vertical slice saved Series M. Back in the days, in the 90s, in Croatia were a little bit less exciting than today, but still there was few very enthusiastic people trying to make their first games. There were like 3 or 4 companies in their garages trying to make games, just, you know, pure passion, and that was...
На какой вопрос? Именно в КС 2? Сколько лет в целом ты потратил на прохождение Сэма? Да и я, в принципе, хз. Не играл и играл. Я именно счетчик себе не ставил. Сколько лет потратил?
Not much more than that. We really believed that we can deliver something very special. When we decided to make a first-person shooter game, we needed an engine to run it. But engines in those days were pretty expensive. I think it was like more of like $1 million plus, and of course we couldn't afford an engine of $1,000 probably. Actually, we had no choice but to make ourselves our own engine. Our goal was to make a 2D engine that would be able to run a game like a Wolfenstein. It had no view up and down look, just feeling of a first-person perspective, and you can move around, and we did that. But in the meantime, Duke Nukem came, and it had up and down perspective, and you can look a little bit up and down. And we had to switch that, and we added that to the engine. Then, of course, Quake came, and that was unbelievable, complete 3D. And we knew that we wouldn't be able to deliver a game that doesn't have 3D, and the end of the game was not near on the end of the horizon. So we understand that we still need to step once again and do the complete 3D game. And then, of course, accelerators came, and we need to switch from the software version of 3D into the accelerated one. During the development of Series M1, the most common processor was probably Pentium 1 or even Pentium 2 maybe. We optimized engines so that it could run on low-end machines too. We know that we need to step up. We needed to do something very special. It was complete engine with editors, with physics, with complete 3D, with to support huge number of enemies, because that was our goal. To have the game that is like open, wide spaces, something very special and new. Games at that time actually had something like few enemies actually on the screen, and probably max up to 10, but we aimed for 10 times more. Actually, we aimed to reach 100 enemies at the screen at once. And when you add to that the amount of projectiles that those enemies fire, and that you have to fire in a really rapid rate to be able to destroy all of them, and that was like really challenging for us to achieve technically. To gain what we want to achieve in the game, that's huge environments and a huge number of enemies, we had to deliver something that wasn't actually seen anywhere, and that's a really large scope for the environments. That means that your visibility, you would be able to see something like maybe even several hundreds of meters, even 1 kilometer ahead. The first implementation didn't have good enough performances, so we had to invent some systems that would enable us to run hundreds of enemies at the same time, with them shooting projectiles which are really fast, and you know, like on computers that are really not that good at those times. So we invented this caching ahead system, where one projectile or moving object would actually cache for, I don't know, maybe 3-4 seconds ahead, everything that it could collide, and until nothing changed during those 3-4 seconds, it wouldn't have to test again against environment for collision. To speed up the collision, we were not able to use the real geometry of cubes for collision, but we approximated them with several spheres. On one side, that speed up immensely our collision tests, because actually test with the cube is really easy one. And the second gain that we got is that we could have multi-directional gravities. So characters would be able to walk on ceilings, inside the spheres. So we had several types of gravity, and we actually put that into the game as a secret places, locations, and that was really, really awesome. We started with building a complete game that was unpolished but had like 40 levels, and we packed that up with the menus, nice menus and everything into one pitchable, well, we thought it was a pitchable exit that we recorded and actually printed out very nice design, game design document that explains all the enemies, all the items, weapons, locations, story, everything. We selected something like maybe 20-30 publishers, and we pitched that demo along with this game design document to all of them. We only had answers from two of them, so 28 didn't answer at all, and 2 answers came, and both of them said no. We didn't have too much options on our table, so we want to do our last try to make this happen. We had no funding at all, so we were like students working in our garages, fighting with our parents because they didn't understand what we wanted to do with this. But still, we knew that we have something special there.
Всякие вот такие короли не хотят сотрудничать с левыми разработчиками.
Okay, and we try to think and we discuss many times what to do now, how to deliver to others what we had inside our brains, in our minds. Right? So we decided that we will make one, let's call it vertical slice, one technology test demo that would feature, really polished one level, but really, really polished level from the beginning to the end. We took one of our beloved levels, the Karnak level, that is inspired by the really, really beautiful complex of temples in Egypt. And we planned to have several pitfalls on levels, some introductions of the enemies. We really give our best to polish everything in the game. Animations, sounds, weapon sounds, feeling of running, everything. It was like a demo that would be played like from 1 hour to 1.5 hours. It's a complete game compressed down to one level. We uploaded onto the internet, but the real success of the demo was because the site Old Man Mary picked it up and gave it a first positive review ever, because they always gave negative reviews. The Old Man Mary was a very famous site. It was run by 2 guys, Chet and Eric, and those guys later were employed by Valve, and they were writers of Portal, Half-Life 2, and Left 4 Dead games. Guys from the Old Man Mary actually had this rating system where they would take a game and measure how long does it take for a player to reach the first Half-Life 2 and Left 4 Dead games. Guys from the Old Man Mary actually had this rating system where they would take a game and measure how long does it take for a player to reach the first crate or barrel in the game. It was the way
Это был способ
для ребят
показать, насколько лишен воображения дизайн уровня.
Поэтому
у хорватов не было вот этих бочек.
So they gave us a fantastic and first positive ever review, probably. And that put a lot of spotlight onto our game. And I think at the end, that made a big difference. It was really heavily downloaded from many people. It was like more than $1 million. It was downloaded the summer.
Это я не так сформулировал предложение, то, что там спидранеры... Нет. Короче, они создали именно, чтобы был уровень без ящиков. Но сайт популярный Old Murray, да? Old Man Murray, они, короче, как-то фигачили только то, что именно как можно добраться до объекта.
And it was really, really successful. We think that this
локация это километр песка до первой пальмы.
Represent the game is actually a very, very good way.
Но зато ради секретки я на все готов.
So we did that for Series M3. We had this level called Philae. It is an island on the River Nile, where we actually created the first gameplay. When we created Talos, we had a special level that was
Надо Талос
actually
как-то сыграть.
we published it, we gave it out for free so that people
Тут
can
тупо
test and
головоломки.
see what the Talos is all
Привет,
about.
Космо.
And we were pretty confident that they will like that, and actually that happened. And I think this is pretty fair for the developers to give game in hands of the gamers to try out before they buy. So, yeah, well, it is not common these days, but I really think that's fair, and I think we will stick to that decision in the future.
Ну и последний обзор, а потом будем